Mental illness refers to a wide range of mental health conditions, disorders that affect your mood, thinking, and behavior. Unfortunately, individuals who are diagnosed with mental disability are not always perceived the same as the rest of society. Just because an individual is different doesn't mean they should be judged. Mental disability does not define who an individual is.
They wait to plead their case, unknown cast aside. I'd love to see their face. Can we spare the light? Or are we afraid to see them? Prisoners of history, these beautiful minds trapped inside. Bring them back to life. Let them shine. Let them shine.
We asked ourselves the question, why are they treated so differently? Unfortunately, many people don't understand mental health problems and may have a negative view of people who have them. This can cause people with mental health problems to be treated badly or labeled in a way that hurts their standing in a community. This is sometimes called stigma and can affect those with mental or emotional problems and their careers and families.
On social media, a video posted online shows teenagers bullying and then brutally beating a mentally challenged man in Delaware. Tonight, we've learned Newcastle County Police have made 2 arrests. Good evening. I'm Sarah Bloomquist.
And I'm Walter Perez. The big story in Action News tonight is the violent attack on a mentally challenged man, and apparently it's not the first time he's been targeted.
Action News reporter Kenneth Moten is live outside the Newcastle County Police Department headquarters in Minquadale tonight. And Kenneth, you spoke with the victim's mother and investigators.
Sarah and Walter, the phones were ringing off the hooks here at Newcastle County Police and at Action News when that video surfaced. It is hard to look at. Tonight we've learned those 2 young boys have already been charged with misdemeanors, arrested, and released into their parents' custody. This disgusting nature and outrage factor had this video spread like wildfire on social media. It shows a 26-year-old mentally challenged Newark, Delaware man being beaten by several teenagers. What went through your mind?
Rage, anger, because of the situation with him being mentally disabled. He doesn't do anything to anyone but be kind.
Yana, who didn't want us to air her last name, is the mother of the victim, Karan. He has Williams syndrome and the mental capacity of a 2nd grader. In this cell phone video, he's body slammed and punched as others watched inside Harbor Club apartments. It gets worse. There are other videos posted online showing other attacks on Karan, possibly by the same suspects.
What's your name?
Grammy.
What's your favorite thing to do?
My favorite song.
To listen to songs?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Shan, and I like to play basketball.
My name is Gabe. Everything, I just come here.
I'm Eric, and I like to watch Walking Dead.
I am Michaela, and I like to write stories.
Hi, my name is David, and my favorite thing to do is riding my mountain bike.
What's your name?
Jesse.
And what do you like to do?
Hi, my name is James.
No, your name. What do you like to do?
My cut. Step up home.
William Cup basketball.
My name's Brendan, and I like to do horses.
Tyler, what?
Quartet.
There you go. What's your favorite thing to do?
favorite to do?
Yeah, what do you like to do?
To work. Computer?
Yeah, that.
My name is Preston, and my favorite thing to do is really, well, it's, hi, my name is Preston. I like watching Marvel superheroes.
We are aware that individuals with mental disabilities have different ways of thinking, and to understand this topic on a deeper level, we decided to discuss it with the life teachers at Rowlett High School.
What problems do you face every day with your students?
The problem I face is sometimes getting control of my students. Sometimes they're a little tougher and they've had a tougher day. You just have to kind of read them and look into their eyes. Sometimes you can tell by their eyes whether they're going to be having a tough day. Sometimes we have some that are very sensitive, so you have to kind of, just kind of keep in control over the students.
What drove you to work with special needs kids?
What drove me to work there? At first, I used to substitute, and that's something I would never do, is substitute, because I really thought that you had to be, just right, know what you're doing and everything. But basically, I was up in attendance, switched with Robin, and came back here, and just, the kids are awesome. Just fall in love with the kids. And they have their tough days, they have their easy days. There's sometimes when you just want to hug them and squeeze them. And there's some days that you're just like, okay, I can do this. I got patience. Patience is the key.
What problems do you face every day with your students?
Well, I would say it's a range of problems. With some of my students, like Andrew, for example, who can't express himself, probably the biggest problem is just their frustration at not being able to express themselves. He can't communicate, and so instead he does things like throw his breakfast or hit himself in the face or scream and won't stop screaming, and so that's definitely a challenge as a teacher, because you've got 8 other kids ready to listen and one that's flipping out and no one can hear over him. And but it's just because he can't get it out any other way. And then I have a new student who's just moved here from the Philippines. At home they only speak tag, so not only does she really have no clue what is going on, she doesn't speak English, and not only that, she's deaf. And so even though they speak tag at home, up until a year ago, she finally got a hearing aid 1 year ago, but up until then she never heard a sound, so she doesn't even speak her native language. So communication with her is a definite challenge, because I'm having to try to teach sign language. They've never taught her sign, and so I'm just trying to figure out how to get through things with her. How am I going to give her the STAR test? I mean, she has no idea what I'm saying, and so I'm like acting everything out, and she's like, "You're a nut."
And what drove you to work with these kids?
My own children. I have 4 kids. My oldest son, Max, is fine. He's 22. He's in college studying to be a pilot. And then I had twins, Marshall and Michaela, who are here in our ALE program. Marshall's in Miss Lowry's room, Michaela's in Miss Griffin's. And until they were 9 months old, we had no idea anything at all was wrong with them. And then they started, slipping behind on milestones. They didn't sit up on time. They didn't pull up to stand on time. They didn't crawl on time. They didn't walk, And as time went on, we realized they were further and further behind. And I mean, my husband and I both were athletes, and nothing was wrong with anyone in our family. There was no reason whatsoever that anything should have been wrong with our kids. And so we were kind of in denial for a while, but eventually we started realizing it. Got them help and everything, but they have a disability. It's a genetic disability, just a fluke thing, that my husband and I both happen to have one little piece of a gene, both have the same defect. Our oldest got one normal one defective one. They both got defectives. So it's just luck of the draw. But when they started high school, it finally worked out, and it just, circumstances here worked out that they needed somebody, and it was a total God thing. And my friends had always told me, you should teach special ed, you should teach special ed. But you know, there was a time when they were younger when I emotionally just couldn't deal with it, because I dealt with it at home 24/7, and I was still really kind of coming to terms with, oh my gosh, my kid, this is not how my life was supposed to go. I was supposed to have these perfect kids that went off to, and having to deal with that was just a lot. And so, but now that we've gotten through all that, and I feel like I'm at a point where I can help other parents, and it kind of gives me a unique perspective, because I can completely understand what the parents of these kids are going through. So when they are asking for things, well, some other teachers would be like, why are they asking for that? I get it, because I'm a parent, so I understand that angst, and that, especially the freshmen coming in, they're so, anxious about their kids being here, and all the things you start having to deal with as they get older. You have to start applying for Medicaid. You have to start, figuring out what you're going to do after high school with them. Where are they going to go? Where are they going to live? What are, all those things come into play in high school. And so it's just kind of a perfect condition. So it's just worked out, and I love my job. I love all the kids.
What problems do you face every day with your students?
With my students, not being able to target everybody's needs all the time. I have students that need a lot more than others. Sometimes those students get more help than the ones who are probably a little more high functioning. Sometimes the hardest part for me is dealing with the families at times, because what they want for their kid isn't always what's academically best for their kid. So that's the hardest part for me.
And then what drove you to work with these kids?
There have been special needs people in my life my entire life. My grandmother's best friend had a son who was just considered retarded. He had some sort of palsy. Nobody knows what kind it was because it wasn't diagnosed. He was just labeled retarded. And so when growing up, he was our age mentally, but he was like 45 or something like that. It was just Bubba. So he, that's what I grew up around. And then going to church, we had several kids with autism, and I really connected with them, and it was easy to work with them. And then I really didn't want to teach special ed. I didn't want to teach high school. I wanted to do middle school and do history. And it somehow changed into special ed and high school and life skills. So that's my story.
Lost ever be found? Could a garden come up from this ground at all? You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust.
People with mental illnesses are not suddenly different people because they are sick. When they're struggling, they aren't monsters. When they get better, they're not new people. But our feelings and our situations can trick us into thinking so. Mental illnesses are illnesses, and sometimes they can change someone's circumstances. They can even change their personalities for a time, change their interests, their spirit. but they are the same person you've always loved, and they need you to see that person in them, even when they can't see themselves clearly. Seeing people we love in pain is hard, especially when we can't relate to their struggles. But that doesn't make them not beautiful. We may want to fix their problems and be their support system, but the truth is that no one person can fix another. No one person can alone support the weight of their own burdens and someone else's. The best thing we can do is to help the people we love is to build a community around ourselves and them. People with mental illnesses can greatly benefit from knowing that they're not alone in their diagnosis. Their daily struggles, their ups and downs, their triggers. Having a healthy system of support in place can give them an access to new ways of coping and brainstorming, as well as emotional validation that can breathe hope into their most desperate moments.
Choose your destiny. Flawless victory. Choose your destiny. Flawless victory.
Marco. Alex, come on.
Coming.
1 or 2. He said he's coming.
Hello.
Jericho's up to the airport! Crusty critters! Crusty critters!
Oh, damn!
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Hold on, what's that?
That shit, man.